Hi, this is Billie Beene here with another segment of Truth by Billie Beene Special Report. Today's date, February 3, 2023. New. This is my third YouTube channel. I have a subscribe button in the lower right corner of my screen. Thanks for like, subscribe, and share on YouTube and Rumble. Episode 498. Some of my sources are God in the Bible, Patriot subscribers, Paul Begley's interview of Mike from Around the World, WION, India-based mainstream media, Reality 365, France 24, English version, Off-Grid Desert Farming, a Steepwell site, Independent Trending Politics, websites, AOL, The Hill, website, Hal Turner Plus. So, let's get started. The topics are Chinese spy balloon over Montana, and a U.S. military moves to Defcon 2. I have a Patriot subscriber who says it's been the CCP plan since the 1980s to take over the U.S., and the CCP are in and around the U.S. and Canada. Yeah. I've seen evidence of that since I began being a news analyst in 2020 at the prompting of God, after a global bioweapon was released on all people. Yeah. So let's get started on this. Let's draw a map and bring up several things. Okay. So here is the U.S., Texas, Mexico, California, Canada, Alaska. Okay, so now we've been hearing about this Chinese spy balloon. It's about in Montana. It's about the size of 3 buses. And we have sources that say it came in over the Aleutian Islands. Here is Alaska. And coming down from Alaska is a group of islands, Aleutian Islands. On this side would be Russia. Now, we have Russia, we have Mongolia, we have China. So we would have Alaska right about here. So that's going on. Now, we have this Chinese spy balloon. Now, Werx in the past has talked about U.S. spy balloons being up over the U.S. And this is generally, and it is now, it's above the area where planes would fly. But generally, it's even much higher than that. Now, Mike from Around the World, he's regularly on Pastor Paul Begley's Thursday night. We believe Mike works for the NSA. Mike knows stuff. Says that this cold front pushed the balloon down at the level to which it can be now seen. So I'm going to put forth what's coming out in the press, and then I'll put forth some points to think about. So this was first seen about Wednesday, February 1. So we have Secretary of State Blinken commenting from Hong Kong. And we have Lloyd Austin, retired 4-star general who's now the Secretary of Defense, making a comment from the Philippines. And we have General Mark Miley, who's chairman of the Joint Chiefs of the shadow part of the U.S., which is about 30%. And we have General Glenn Van Herk of the Air Force. And we have the spokesperson for the Pentagon, Brigadier General Patrick Ritter, making statements. So what they're saying is on Thursday, the U.S. U.S. military scrambled planes, and they're saying they have decided not to shoot it down because they don't know what kind of debris it has. Now, WION, India-based mainstream media, says the Pentagon advised JB not to shoot it down, and the Chinese spy balloon, because of unknown materials. And that could be true. We have Reality 365. The Chinese spy balloon is about the size of 3 balloons. And I saw the internet individual coming out saying he was shooting it from Billings, Montana. So this is Billings, Montana. And I saw the individual, I'm just an everyday person, and I'm just shooting this spy balloon and putting it on the internet. It looked a little bit suspect because he was saying, now, look at this and look over here, real slow, like it was scripted. And this is a Chinese spy balloon. Really? Well, how would an individual, just an everyday citizen, know that? Okay. Now we have France 24 in English, and Monkey Werx and Paul Begley's interview, and Mike from Around the World. Hal Turner was another source. Okay. Chinese spy balloon over the U.S., Billings, Montana. Yeah, a citizen took it. It's being tracked. It's being tracked by NORAD. That's the U.S. military, and also Canada. Cool. Now we have Steve Quayle's site. We have the Independent giving us this information. The Chinese are saying to the U.S., stay calm. It's just a spy balloon we've had over the U.S. and Canada. Now, allegedly, it was first spotted Wednesday, February 1. Well, the U.S. military didn't respond until February 2, according to the statements by the U.S. military. Okay. Now, what's in Billings, Montana? We have in Billings, Montana, we've got this Maelstrom military base, and what's stored there? 150 nuke warheads are stored there. Because I was wondering, what's in Montana? Now we know. And this is located in Great Falls, Montana, which would be, adjacent to Billings. That's going on. Now we have Steve Quayle's site, Trending Politics. Yeah, the U.S. military scrambled 3 jets a day after the spy balloon was spotted on February 2nd, including F-22s, to see what's going on. And we have this. Why Montana? Because we have sensitive areas there, the Pentagon said. But inquiring minds have come out with this. Yeah, we've got nuclear warheads there. Now let's look at what's involved in, and what we're hearing is from multiple sources, including off-grid desert farming with Paul and Adrian, and Mike from Around the World that we believe works for the NSA, talking about the U.S. moving from Defcon 3 to 2. Now we'll go over what does this mean. Okay, Defcon is a system that the U.S. military came up with, I think in the 1980s, to describe What is the military readiness state of the U.S. military? And it goes from 5, peacetime, all the way to 1, which would be nuclear war. So now, being even at 3 is a pretty big deal. Costs a lot of money. So we have this. We have 3 is a state of, we're going from normal, we're going up in our readiness, and it costs money, a lot of money to do that. Okay, Defcon 3 is called roundhouse, and it's a standby above normal. Now, if we go to Defcon 2, which is called fast pace. So this is called roundhouse in terms of the military term, fast pace. So Defcon 2, big deal, means that we're opening our nuclear silos, getting ready to launch nuclear missiles, and we are launching our submarines, and we have on our runways inside the U.S., we've got our strategic B-52 bombers on the runway, prepped and ready to get into the air, which means, of course, we have 24/7 pilots ready to jump into those planes. Now, if we go to Defcon 1, which is called cocked pistol, that means we're actually at nuclear war. Now, Defcon 2, we've only been at Defcon 2 once in the history of the United States since the Defcon system was put in place in the 1980s. And when was that? 1962, the Cuban Missile Crisis, President Kennedy. Only one time in the history of the U.S. since the Defcon system began have we been at Defcon 2. So now, and we've never been at Defcon 1 since the Defcon system was put in place in the 1980s. Now, Mike from around the world and other sources are saying that the U.S. is moving from Defcon 3 to Defcon 2. We're in the process of moving there based on the discovery of this Chinese balloon, spy balloon. Now, I submit to you there's some things amiss here in this story. One, it's coming out now. Yeah, we've been tracking it from Alaska and the Aleutian Islands and over Canada, and now it's in the U.S. And we have this explanation for why we can see it in the air because of that polar vortex that came in that, might have been the result of geoengineering. Hey, but look, if we can scare the American people enough, well, we, the shadow part of the U.S. government and the shadow part of the military under the guidance of the deep state, well, we can rush into this war situation and we'll get the American people on board with committing their sons and daughters to war. Okay. This is my position, that this whole thing could be orchestrated by the deep state. Now, another position would be that the Chinese routinely have spy balloons up in the upper parts of the atmosphere, and I would believe that the U.S. also has high altitude spy balloons over other nations. And it could be that it was forced down by the cold air. So, which would mean, in terms of military aggression, this is a normal thing that all militaries are doing. So, yeah, I think it's good to take a step back. Now, is it good to get cash and prep with food and water? That's always a good thing, but is even better would be staying close to God. So, I pray to God for peace and prosperity for America and all nations around the world. Peace and prosperity for 2023. And I say to my family and friends, remain steady out there. Continue to pray. God is in charge and He is on the move. I love you, and I'll see you soon.